Okay, so have you guys noticed this? I feel like everywhere I go lately, CBD is like blowing up.
Right.
It's wild. And this one thing, CBD distillate, I keep seeing it everywhere. So obviously we got to deep dive into
Oh,
this.
yeah, for sure. It's a good one to dig into. Lots to unpack.
Totally. So I've been checking out this article. It's all about like choosing the right type of CBD distillate. And then we've got this info from a company, Hempex.com. They actually make this stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before we get into all that, can we like back up a sec? What even is CBD distillate? Why is everybody so into it these days?
Yeah, totally. So picture this.
Hmm.
You take the hemp plant,
Hmm.
right, and you basically extract like all the good stuff, the CBD, other cannabinoids, even things like terpenes, and you concentrate it.
Yeah.
That CBD distillate, like a super potent extract, really purified.
So it's kind of like getting what, like a supercharged dose of hemp, but
Yeah.
like without all the extra plant material.
Exactly. You got it. It goes through this whole extraction process, and it
Yeah.
ends up being super pure. And one of the coolest things is that you can use it in so many ways.
Oh, yeah. That's obviously like what I was reading about, how you can like ingest it or vape it, even put it on your skin.
Mm.
It's a lot,
It
right?
can be a little overwhelming, yeah, for sure.
That's kind of where I got tripped up, honestly. Like, okay, potent CBD, I get it, but then there's all these different kinds,
Exactly, yeah.
like full spectrum, then there's THC free. How do you even know where to start?
Well, it all comes down to like what else is in there besides the CBD, right? So with full spectrum, you're getting CBD, but you're also getting these other compounds that are naturally in hemp, like terpenes, flavonoids. It might even have like tiny, tiny amounts of THC.
Okay, so it's like the whole package, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And they actually work better together. There's this whole thing, the entourage effect.
Yeah,
You heard
yeah,
of that?
yeah, yeah. Is that like connected to the full spectrum thing?
It is. It's the idea that all those compounds, they kind of work like in synergy. It's like, imagine a band, right? Each instrument on its own is cool, but together they make like a way richer sound.
Totally. So it's like instead of just one note, you're getting the whole orchestra with full spectrum.
Exactly. That's a
All right.
great way to put it. Now, on the flip side, you've got THC-free,
Yeah.
and that's just what it sounded like. They've taken out all the THC.
So if you like don't want THC for whatever reason, that's the way to go.
Yep. Still has all those other good compounds, just no THC at all.
Okay, so it's about having choices then. I liked it.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And speaking of choices, that's something I thought was really cool when I was looking at Hempex.com stuff.
Yeah.
They're like really into making sure their products are high quality.
Yeah, totally. That's one thing that jumped out at me too. Like they do all this third-party testing and they give you those, what do you call them? The COAs, certificates of analysis.
Exactly.
Like right there for you to see. That's awesome.
Transparency is key for sure.
Seriously though, those COAs, that's huge. Like at least you know what you're getting, right?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Major points for transparency there. Okay, so it sounds like Hempex, they're not messing around. They've got like a whole bunch of different products too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's cool. They're really taking that one ingredient, CBD distillate, and doing so much with it. Tinctures, edibles, like gummies. And they even got isolates.
So they're like, whatever you're into, we got you covered.
Exactly. And it's not just CBD either. Remember we were talking about those other compounds in hemp, like CBDA, CBGA?
Yeah, yeah.
Hempex is getting into that stuff too.
Oh, wow, really? I think I saw something about like CBG gummies on their site, but I wasn't sure what those were all about.
Yeah. Those are like, they're just kind of like CBDs. Lesser known cousins. Researchers are just starting to figure out what they can do. Like there's some early stuff that says CBG might be good for focus.
Interesting. Okay, so while everybody else is like still on the CBD train, Hempex is over here like, we're gonna make stuff with all the cannabinoids.
Right. It's pretty cutting edge. It shows you where things are going in the industry.
Mhm.
It's not just going to be about CBD anymore.
Yeah, like we're just scratching the surface with hemp. Right. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Full spectrum, THC free, all these different products. But for someone listening who's like, okay, this is awesome, but how do I actually choose? What would you tell them?
That is the question. I'll say, first, think about what are you hoping to get out of this? Like, is it sleep? Is it maybe you want something for everyday aches and pains, or just like a little more chill?
Yeah, you gotta know your why, right?
Totally. Once you've got that figured out, then it's like, okay, how do you feel about THC? Because if you're cool with it and you want that whole entourage effect, full spectrum could be a good option.
And if you're like, nope, no THC for me, there's always THC free.
Exactly. You still get the benefits of CBD, just
Yeah.
no THC at all. And remember, it's like there's no right or wrong answer here.
I'm glad you said that. Because it's so easy to get caught up in like, oh, this is the best way, but it's different for everybody, you know?
Totally. What works for one person might not work for another. That's what makes this whole thing so cool, though. It's about like taking control of your own wellness and finding what works for you.
Yes. And speaking of that, something I was thinking about while I was getting ready for this is how important it is to like do your research. There's just so much info out there. It's easy to get lost.
100%. Knowledge is power, right? Especially when it comes to your health and all that.
Yeah, for real. That's why I'm glad we like did this whole deep dive thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's easy to get caught up in all the hype, but if you like actually understand what you're looking at, it makes a big difference.
It really does. And I think that's like the biggest takeaway here. You know, like we're always learning with CBD. The industry is always changing.
Right.
It's on us to stay informed.
Totally. This has definitely made me want to learn even more, I'll tell you that. Any like final words of wisdom before we wrap things up?
Oh, man. I guess I would just say, whether you're just starting out with CBD or you've been into it for a while, like, don't forget, this plant is pretty amazing. There's so much potential there. So keep learning, you know?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to, like, ask questions. Try different things. Find what works for you.
I love that. That's what it's all about. And hey, if Hempex is any indication, there's some really cool stuff on the horizon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The research that's happening right now is super exciting. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
All right, well, there you have it, everyone. We took a deep dive into the world of CBD, distillate, what it is, how it's made.
We talked about choosing the right type.
Oh, yeah. And how important those COAs are. Don't forget those.
Transparency is key.
So important. But really, like, at the end of the day, you're in the driver's seat, right?
Oh, wow.
So go out there, do your research, and find what works for you. Until next time.